I'm gonna go take a leak.
You bastard! Hello, this is SOG's Obscure Movie Reviews. As you guessed, this is kind of a strange one because it's recording! And I have special guests. That was Nate, who ruined the introduction of the video, because he's a bastard like that. And this is Inca over here. Yes, he does sound like that in real life. You'd be terrified, because he's not a cat.
The bodies are inside the walls.
So, yeah, we're going to be watching a movie and reviewing it. It is 1989's PuppetMaster. To give you all a little backstory on this one, it is a direct-to-DVD, or tape at the time, movie. It was supposed to be released by Universal Studios, but they apparently thought it was so horrible that the movie got released by Full Moon Pictures, which says a lot.
From what I understand, SOG, it's also about puppets.
You know, there's some masters in it too.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy like that. I would say Nate should give his introduction, but once again, as mentioned, the bastard left.
But he's an asshole.
Yep, so no introduction for Nate. So yeah, I'm the only one of them who's actually seen this movie. So, yeah, I know what they're in for, and I'm going to mock them relentlessly after they watch this thing.
Back.
And I will probably forget it 10 minutes after we watch it.
And Nate, you're back. Introduce yourself.
Hi, this is DangerousNate. I'm here, sitting in a chair.
It's sounding very boring.
Yeah, great. This is, exactly how I wanted my first recording review to be. A boring guy and a demonic cat entity.
You have selected Microsoft Nate as the computer's Nate voice.
They probably didn't even hear that recording because your voice was so low.
Though that was an awesome bit.
That was funny. Okay, so anyway, there were 9 sequels to this horrible film. I mean, this wonderful, wonderful piece of cinema here.
Oh gosh.
And yeah, I only have this one. To show you how good this movie was, I found it in a grocery store DVD bargain bin. Actually, that should tell you a lot.
I've found some good $5 and $10 movies, man.
Actually, my friend bought like the first 5 of these movies.
I am very sorry for your friend, because I've seen them all.
He apparently likes them. He actually has one of the dolls, that doll on the cover.
Wow. That's terrifying. Anyway, on with the show.
I'm scared.
We'll get back to you after these messages.
Did I win yet?
You failed.
Fuck.
This review is brought to you in part by Mountain Dew, Pixie Sticks, and Bell South.
So yeah, we just finished watching the movie.
I have a mild concussion.
Yeah, Brian gave himself a concussion. It was hilarious.
Note to self, do not jump whenever the ceiling is right above your head.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Is that a promise?
The movie was... words. One word description of it.
I need to think of something in a minute. Use my wordsmith.
Supercalifragilistic.
No.
Holy cow, what the heck was that?
It was horrible.
Fucktocious.
It had some entertaining parts,
That's a
at
word.
least.
Fucktocious.
Okay, I didn't give the plot before. The plot is essentially a group of psychics somehow get this premonition.
You can't call them that.
Yeah, I mean, their psychic abilities are pretty ridiculous, but we'll get to that in a minute. They get they get a premonition that an old buddy of theirs is either in trouble, or one of them actually sees an image of him shooting a girl after dancing this ridiculously long waltz to accordion music.
That you see
all the while wearing a mask.
Yes, you'll see it several times in the movie. And when these psychics get to the hotel where he was at, they find out that Buddy is dead, and for some reason they've left his corpse in a coffin in the room for people to sign in. I don't know why.
I mean, seriously, what the heck?
There's no evidence that he's been embalmed or anything.
Yes.
No, it's like, alright, let's put this stank-ass corpse in the middle of the front room of the hotel and see what happens.
So
it's not like the place would be made into a funeral home or anything either. It's still a hotel as far as we know.
So dead Buddy here got married to the woman who runs the hotel. It's all very sad. Apparently he was a douchebag though, so nobody liked him.
And then he had the Kamehameha face in the elevator.
That's an entirely different scene, but it's awesome.
That was probably one of the things that saved the movie.
Okay, so there's psychic abilities. One of them can apparently see any sexual situation somebody's had by touching the area in which they had it. And when she goes into the elevator, this is the scene Nate referred to. It is quite possibly the most hilarious scene. She witnesses a rape, which would usually be, a traumatic scene in a movie, but the faces in the scene. It looks like Dragon Ball Z.
This is kind of sad in the beginning. She's like, oh no, my clothes have been ripped off by his round dude. And then it just a sudden cut to this guy in this drawn back angle of the shot, and he's like, I mean, he's hulking out DBZ style, like exactly like they've said. It's insane. It's just, and then they've altered his voice somehow, so it's just even worse. He's like,
yeah, it's that in slow motion noise where oh my god, it is horrible.
Oh god.
So yeah, big reveal. There's puppets in this movie, and they kill people.
I didn't know that.
Although for the first portion of the movie, it's just this camera following them at like foot level that we thought was a friggin' sneaker commercial.
Honestly, yeah, it was like everybody got like someone got together and was like, "Hey, we all better wear nice shoes because I'm sure there's gonna be some foot action going on here."
Let me get my shoes.
Let me get my shoes.
I think the only thing you're really
We'll get to
expecting
that in a minute.
I think the only thing that would have made this movie make sense is if at the very end of the movie it just cuts to a Nike logo.
Yeah, like at the end of the movie, that guy wakes up and says, oh, and then
Nikes.
he sees the wall and it says, "Just do it."
That would have pretty much summed up this movie because, like I said, there's more time showing the shoes than faces.
And
in the
people
opening
are
of the
so fucking oblivious.
yeah,
And the
I mean,
Muppets are actually
for a
really
group
for
of
like
psychics,
15
you'd
minutes.
think they'd see this coming, really.
Some sort of foresight.
So yeah, the psychics get picked off in horrible, brutal ways, which are really slow and boring for the most part.
Oh
Some
my
of the piano
God,
scene,
yes.
that was kind of hilarious.
The piano scene is hilarious just because, like, this piano plays in the background, the person looks around all scared and shit.
And she's like, "Oh, it must have been the wind to play the piano."
The piano is apparently it's just a house settling. And then finally she goes over to look at the piano after it, does a little do-do-do-do-do-do-do type
Second
thing.
time.
Yeah, it's like a third time by the time she actually goes looking over, and they had to play a waltz to get her to look at it. And
Fucking hell.
yeah, so she looks at it and just kind of closes the piano.
Stop this motherfucking thing from playing.
And then, she gets hit with a fire poker in the back of the head, and her head, explodes.
No, she gets hit in the cheek, and it's the back of her head explodes.
It explodes all over the fire.
Off screen. It's fucking ridiculous.
And the funny thing is, it wasn't even the sharp side of the poker. It was the dull end.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But then again, knives are really consistent in this movie. I mean, this knife that's like about the size of a pull tab on a soda can makes a cut across her neck that looks like katana could have nearly taken off her head.
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous.
And so there's this chick with a very fake Southern accent, which is just atrocious. Yeah, I mean, we're rooting for her to get killed the entire time just because of this accent.
Thinking about the character gives me a fucking headache.
It was horrible. And she's got a stuffed dog, which she carries in her briefcase. And it's like her dead dog, and she keeps this thing. And we swear, there's some weird stuff going on with this dog. It was definitely giving a creepy vibe there.
Yeah. Carries it around and drinks with it.
Yeah. She's offering a guy to have sex with him, and when he says no, basically, she goes into the room holding the dog to her chest. And it's like, okay.
It looks like we'll do our own thing. It's exactly what she says. Looks like we'll have to do our regular thing.
It looks like we'll have to provide our own.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have a concussion.
Yeah, there was definitely some stuff going on with that dog, which just that was the creepiest part of the movie.
Maybe that's where she got the Southern accent.
Yeah, so she dies. The dog's already dead, so it's already dead.
The dog doesn't give two shits.
The dog just kind of stares and watches it because it's
Well,
fucking
until,
dead.
never mind.
Hey, no spoilers yet. The other people die, but who gives a rat's ass about them?
I do.
No one cares what you think.
Oh, the one part. No, you got to talk about how retarded the one guy's scene is.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
All right. Well, apparently this guy has been ignoring his nymphomaniac psychic girlfriend the entire fucking movie. But she's the one that can sense sexual activity in locations through touch and whatnot. And she's like, stuff's happening here, and she starts touching herself all the time. And she's like, hey, let's do it. And he's like, we're here strictly for business. And it annoys the piss out of me every time. Because, I mean, really, if you were standing in that situation, you'd be like, alright.
I mean, they're in a hotel room even.
Yeah.
And then he finally gets in the movie where he puts pantyhose on his head.
He's like, sweet, let me pretend that I'm going to strangle her by putting pantyhose on my head and using the other pantyhose.
Good news, honey, I brought protection.
Yeah, it's pretty retarded. But then they finally get to the deed, and then she's like, no, you're going to listen to me because you've been ignoring me the whole time, which is understandable because he fucking has. And I wouldn't even have to be paying attention to the movie.
Tie to bed.
Yeah, and so she ties him to the bed and they start having sex. And so she thinks there's something in the room midway through. And she's like, sweet, so instead of untying my big muscular boyfriend here and unblindfolding him, I'm going to get off the bed and look underneath the bed, fucking little child style, like there's a monster under the bed, which turns out is a puppet and whatnot. And then, but she gets murdered because, and through the whole time he's like, hey, what's happening? She's like, shh, shut up, I think there's somebody in the room.
And the puppets, the death with her is hilarious because this puppet's got a drill on its head, and it just starts up, and it takes like 2 seconds for the drill to start.
Yeah,
and then it has to bend over and run at her, and the entire time she's just staring at it, going, "Ah!"
Oh god!
You could have avoided this puppet like in a second.
Yeah, no,
If
like
it starts drilling into you, you could maybe get the fuck up from underneath the bed, retarded bitch.
Or slap him away whenever.
Or pull the puppet out of wherever it's trying to drill into and whatnot.
I mean, I think at some point I'd be like, something's drilling into me. Punch.
And then, as we've been referring to as the sexy puppet time sequence, a female puppet gets on top of the guy.
Barbie doll size.
And she's like a Barbie doll, and she starts, like kissing on him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, baby." Oh yeah, and he's not noticing the fact that she's a puppet. It's his girlfriend.
He starts kissing his chest, and like you wouldn't notice like these two little arms. Like the whole time I was thinking, like, baby, did you grow mandibles or something? That would be the thought going in my head if two little hands next to this tiny little mouth on my nipple or whatever. It'd be fucking ridiculous. And so the puppets. Should we just go ahead and describe it?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Great.
It starts fucking regurgitating leeches on him, and they start biting into him. So basically, he must be ignoring the big regurgitating noise and whatnot. And then when they start biting into him, he's like, "Oh no, maybe I should act weird, or maybe I should not act weird, act scared or whatever." Because
I should probably do something. This kind of hurts.
Yeah. So yeah, he dies because apparently he's covered in leeches or something.
Yeah.
A Barbie doll can hold like 100 leeches inside.
Big enchanted puppet fuck Barbie doll. Ridiculous.
And he finally realizes this is going on. He takes the blindfold off, by the way.
Yeah, it seems like you would have taken the blindfold off if in the beginning.
Well, I'll be fair on that one. He kind of did a head thrash back, and that's what made the blindfold come off. So I'll be fair with this one because his hands were tied.
Well, I mean, if I saw an enchanted puppet regurgitating leeches on me, I think I'd manage to summon the strength to rip my hands free from these little shitty pantyhose.
Or at least yelling for help
so.
or something.
Yeah.
I doubt she did, a friggin' amazing knot.
I mean, I would have rattled the fuck loose. The bed would be apart if I died in the process.
So, yeah. We then come to my favorite scene in the entire movie. Our main character